Hey dudes, welcome back. I'm just going to update everybody on the channel, my life, do a bit of a vlog post. No real deep insights, I don't think. No ASMR in the video, no real zoned in topic here, but a few things that I've been doing and a few things that I've been noticing, and to also touch on a little bit of reflection about the demonetization of the channel is in the last month I've seen hundreds of videos. Maybe that's exaggerated, but there is hundreds of videos, but I've seen, a dozen, and I've clicked on maybe one or two, and there's people that are openly praising Luigi and saying that there should be more shootings and more anger. And the video that I posted was just talking about him in a neutral kind of newscaster type thing, and they demonetized me and they left up all these other ones, which is kind of, I guess it's channel size. I think they throw the book at people with the smaller channels and let the bigger ones go because that's where the money is. It's a business. I don't know. Definitely that was like getting gut punched, and it took all the wind out of me. But I'm gonna keep doing these videos because it's really all I know. It's kind of how I vent and how I process my thoughts at this point. And I've had a few people reach out to make more videos, and it's not a lot. Like, it's not a following of 1 million people. It's just maybe 20-30 people, and the subs are kind of going down because people are kind of confused and my algorithm's all messed up now. But I'm still gonna make these, and I've been doing a lot of running, and I've been doing a lot of writing, and I've been kind of writing prose poetry about kind of the perspective of people that are on the outcasts of society, people that are getting stepped on, homeless people living with their mom. I don't want to use the word incel, I don't want to use the word drug addict, but kind of, if you were going to put a label on it, that's kind of where my poetry is. I have some influences. I'm not trying to copy anyone else's work. I'm trying to kind of give insights, but at the same time, there's so little empathy or care towards a failure. Like, if a man fails and is homeless, he's not going to get much sympathy, and especially during these times where people are focusing more on inflation and economy, and somebody who is homeless, or they view people like that wanting a handout, you're not going to get much sympathy, which is probably why I'm writing what I'm writing. And I've had a lot of people in my life who've overdosed of fentanyl that I went to high school with, and I don't see this lock-in culture making anything better. I think if we go fully survival of the fittest and everyone locks in. At work the other day, the receptionist had somebody post a suicide note on her Facebook, some acquaintance that she went to high school with, and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so concerned." And I messaged him, and then I kind of talked to her a bit about it, but she kind of didn't really care. She kind of wanted to take his problem and try to get her own sympathy from it, like it's her problem, like she's traumatized that someone she met one time or had a mutual friend with on Facebook, now it's her problem and she's traumatized. And apparently she texted her boyfriend who knew him better, and oh yeah, that guy was a piece of shit, he used to skip class and start fights with people, and they kind of just brushed it off like, who cares. And he got sent to the psychiatric, and if you bring it up again, she just is like, why are you still on this? Like, get over it. So it's kind of like people are locked in, and like somebody like that, it's kind of abandoned by the community, so to speak. I don't have a political or social solution to something like that, but a lot of what I've talked about on this channel is kind of towards that. Is like, locally, there is somebody at a McDonald's recently. I don't know exactly if they pulled a knife or a gun or what they were going through, but there's a big police presence. They got, sent to the psych ward too. There's another guy in my kind of area here that had a van with I don't believe explosives, but he said he did. He had a manifesto. He closed down a highway. There's lots of people that are falling out of society. They're just becoming unpersoned, and they're becoming untouchables at a rapid rate. And there's no real positions for a lot of these people. And I feel myself like I want to speak up for them. I don't know if speaking up for them is the right thing to do, or if I should be doing, volunteering at a homeless shelter, if I should be taking on more, trades type of work responsibility to be a man and, all that kind of thing. But sometimes I feel like a piece of shit just talking about it and not doing anything about it. But I do treat people kindly, and I don't have any real tools in my toolbox other than to write and read about it and to kind of post my opinions. But on that note, I'm going to try to be less political, like directly on here. I'm going to be indirectly political a lot. I think people know kind of where I'm at or where I'm coming from, but I don't want to be demonetized again on a new channel. I don't want to be canceled. You have to walk on eggshells now, especially as a small channel. If you have a big ingrained channel, you can be making, almost just absurd accusations and get away with it. But like, I'm kind of socially a bit more to the right, and then economically a bit more to the left. It's kind of like a homeless bastard politically. I don't really, and I can swing too. I've had extremes in my life. I've been on the extreme left. I've, at one point earlier in my life, been on the extreme right as well. And I'm kind of in the center now, but the center doesn't exist. I don't really trust any politician, and I'm kind of like a, contrarian, where whoever's in power, I'm going to try to, question them, or be maybe even a little bit overthinking, paranoid about them. I'm a guy that always roots for the underdog, and if the underdog gets power, then I'm going to move on to the new underdog. That's kind of how I've always been. But yeah, my life right now, I've been doing running, I've been doing writing, I've been listening to music, I've been rapping. I used to rap in high school. I've been trying to do that again, but I really suck, and I don't have the sharpness anymore after, so many years of smoking weed and doing nothing. But yeah, I have 2 jobs right now. One is kind of fizzling out. The other one is just part-time, and it's a night job. I don't know what's going to happen there. I think I'm going to just keep that one. I joined a wrestling club once a week. It's open 3 times a week, but I can only make the one because of the work. I have a job interview for a full-time day position for painting, like construction painting. I don't know if I'm going to take it because I kind of want to do this. And then I have also a strata management kind of manual coming to study for that, to see if I could get into that. There's a welding course coming up in September. I might sign up to that. So I'm always at this perpetual fork in the road where I have so many opportunities, and part of it is I'm too scared to leap into anything, and part of it is I just kind of want to do my writing and my pseudo podcasting and try to observe people's behaviors and patterns and kind of just give my opinions on it. And then I feel like an asshole or a nobody when I do that, because then it's like, who am I to be, questioning the way society works when I've never achieved anything? And then I get into the kind of the Jordan Peterson type of thinking, and then it's like, I shouldn't even be doing this. I should be doing something more functional. And it would be more healthy to be doing something functional, like to work full-time as a construction painter. I'm out in the real world. I'm socializing. I'm getting fresh air. Kind of doing this grinding to get this channel going. Especially now that I've this channel is kind of up in the air. I'm gonna have to re-upload everything onto other channels. It's going to be hours of work indoors. Spring's coming up. I want to be outside, not really reloading everything. So I have this fork in the road, and it's like 6-7 different forks, and I don't know where to go. I've been getting a little bit more religious. I've been praying a little bit more. I would identify as agnostic, but I do acknowledge the legacy of Christianity. I think the West definitely is marinated in the legacy of Christianity, and there is definitely a pendulum swing to the social right about Christian conservatism, and I think a lot of it is false. I think a lot of, the kind of Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson's have agendas behind it. That's not really what I'm falling into. I'm kind of very suspicious of them, but I am reading the Bible. I'm also reading Charles Bukowski, and I'm trying not to have him influence my writing too much, but there is overlaps. We've both worked these dead-end labor jobs, and we're both kind of depressed, but it kind of ends there. I think he's his own person. I'm not trying to copy that, but I am reading that. I'm reading a couple other things that are just mainly articles and kind of getting out, going to the library, that kind of thing. I'm going to post a video tomorrow or the next day. I've been marinating some beef liver. I'm going to cook that, and it's just going to be a static video of the liver kind of cooking on the grill, kind of similar to my pancake video or a steak video. It's kind of like a pseudo ASMR type video where someone just wants to zone out and watch something cook. They can do that. If you want to ask me questions about how to cook liver, you can do that on that video as well. So I am going to work towards, and I've said this many times, towards splitting this channel into many channels. I'm going to get around to it, but like I said, to be doing that grind now where it's kind of the days are getting longer and it's sunnier, and I don't want to be indoors doing it so much, you know what I mean? So YouTube really did me dirty. I really pleaded with them, like almost to the point of begging. Like I didn't beg, but it felt almost like I was getting there, and there's nothing that could budge them, and it's really like talking to a robot. But anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up now, and I'm considering going on a run. It's a little late, but I have been doing runs. Like I said, it's kind of to build my cardio for the wrestling, because I don't want to be manhandled. And surprisingly, you'd expect wrestling to be, go to the gym, do your bench press, but it's more go to the gym and run on the treadmill. Like I'm actually quite surprised with that. But that's where I'm at now. I'm doing some new things. I'm trying some new things. I thought about doing a course to be a private investigator, but then I'm like, I overthink things, but I'm like, what if I ever go to jail and I was a private investigator? Now I'm going to have to, put up with people trying to stab me all the time, more than usual of a prisoner. And I'm always kind of thinking, like, what if I end up in prison or in a gulag, or if I get, if the country's invaded? Like, I'm always thinking, like, crazy things. But we do live in crazy times. I'm an introvert. I overthink. I try to look deeply into things. It's kind of a blessing and a curse. It's mainly a curse because it's immobilized me into being, just kind of basically a basement dweller. I have a bit of an unusual story there, because I can be doing so much more, but I kind of choose to be an introvert, because I can be an extrovert, but I really am interested in philosophy and kind of the way things work, and I feel like I'm sharpening up a little bit, but it's too little too late, because I really had a period of at least 4 years where I was almost psychotic with the marijuana and kind of the laziness. But anyways, I'm going to end this now. I'm talking shit now. I'm mumbling. I'm rambling. But I mean, whatever. It's my channel. So that's a full... that's almost like a Trump weave of a full vlog update. I covered so many issues and topics that maybe no one cares about, because it does feel like I'm talking to myself on here a lot of the time. That's kind of another thing where I kind of am getting more into the writing, is because when you're writing, you're kind of just zoned in, you're doing the writing, but here it kind of feels almost pseudo-schizophrenic because there's no one in front of me that I'm talking to. Journaling and writing feels a bit more natural. I do have a Substack now. When I have more on there, I might post the link. You never know. trying to try different outlets and kind of spark that motivation and that drive that I had when I was younger, try to reawaken that and kind of become a little bit more functional in ways that I might be rusty, or the pathways in my brain have deadened so much, because when you're working as a janitor or somebody that's shoveling snow, or a security guard, or any of these kind of landscaping jobs, or any of these kinds of things that I've done, you're really just working there solo. When you're younger and you're doing that, like when you're 18 and you're a landscaper, some people are like, holy shit, this guy's cool, he's working it, and he's probably gonna save up and go to university and make something of himself. But when you're like 30 and doing it, people are like, wow, that's the untouchable, that's the Indian guy who cleans out the dry toilets in Slumdog Millionaire type thing. So like, I had one guy, I know I said I'd end this, but I had one guy who added me on Instagram, said that like, oh, we'll go to the chest together, well, kind of thing, and then never happened. And it's kind of, people determine where you are. Like, if you were nobody in high school, it's almost like the same popularity contest that they can smell that on you. And it never goes away. It's kind of like a subconscious viewing of class. But I don't see why somebody who has the drive to get a G-Wagon is more of a human than somebody who doesn't have the drive to need a G-Wagon to flex to a neighbor that he doesn't like, when the person with the broken down Toyota probably actually does like his neighbor. So it's kind of a weird thing that we've done in this society. But anyways, I will now officially for real end this. Thanks for checking this out. I've said a lot of stuff. I don't even know what I'm going to title this, but it was kind of like an open diary. And anyways, peace out. Love all you guys. Hope everyone's doing well, and God bless.